What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR 33336 and the 5. It is February 20th. It is the year of our Lord 2019, and it is 11:20 a.m. What is going on, guys? It is Wednesday, and you know what that means? That means Job. Yes, Job is in the building. He is working right about now. And hopefully he's winding down because he actually got here about 11:05. So he's been here for about 15 minutes, but he's still banging away out there. But hopefully it won't get too bad in terms of noise. But basically, we've got to get this show underway. And I'm going to tell you why we've got to get this show underway. We are going to have a short show today, guys, like 35 minutes is pretty much what this show is going to be. We are going to have an abbreviated episode today, and I can tell you the reason for that. I mean, this isn't the reason for it, but it's part of it. So VR Roundtable is having a special episode at noon, as I hear Job right outside this door here. Yeah, right outside the door. Do you guys hear him? You guys love him? I love him too. I love him too. Okay, so today at noon, in about 39 minutes, Steve Bishop and Gary are going, not Gary Bishop, but Steve and Gary are going to be having a special episode of VR Roundtable. They're going to be talking to Kevin Henderson, the head of U.S. operations for Pimax. So this is going to be a special episode. It is starting at noon. Therefore, yeah, short sleeves. Therefore, I will be ending this show at 11:55, okay? To give you guys 5 minutes to hit the bathroom, grab a cup of water, grab a beer, whatever you got to do, and then bounce over to the VR Roundtable YouTube channel. So make sure and you go ahead and do that. That is Kevin Henderson, the head of U.S. operations at Pimax. That interview is coming up in about 38 minutes from now. So that is going to be exciting. So we will have a very abbreviated episode today, but that's fine because I honestly don't have a hell of a lot to get into. Okay, now let's go ahead and switch things up and let's talk about who brought us this episode. Yeah, it's time to get back into that. You thought that was over with? Not quite. So our 8th Patreon supporter is Hans Dampf. And I want to say thank you very much to Hans. I truly appreciate the support. It is absolutely incredible to have a handful of people out there that are supporting VR365. They're supporting VR Game Rankings. It means a lot. It is absolutely huge. That is our 8th Patreon supporter, Hans Dampf. Much love to Hans. Really appreciate that. But you know what? We also have some additional news in regards to support. Now, some people have told me that they would like to support the show, but they have political problems with Patreon. And I understand this. I know that there is some stuff that is going on there. And Kev Gret says, Hans Dampf. Sounds like a villain from Die Hard. Yeah, kind of. Or maybe a villain from one of the old James Bond movies or something, right? Hans. Yeah. He has gold teeth or something. Gold member, right? Okay. But some people have complained to me about Patreon, and they've said that Patreon, you know, there's all this political stuff that is going on with Patreon and all of that, and so they don't want to support via Patreon. I understand that. I don't know what the political stuff is about. I got to be completely honest with you guys and tell you that I honestly don't get into politics. I don't get into a lot of the drama. I'm kind of in my own little private bubble here. And I'm very interested in VR news and VR related stuff and AR related stuff. And I like Black Mirror and I like sci-fi. And there's certain things I'm into. I like Saturday night. You know, honestly, the closest I get to political crap is Saturday Night Live, watching Saturday Night Live. That's about as close as I get to politics. So I have no idea what is going on with Patreon or any of that. And I don't endorse like whatever they're doing or whatever they're involved with. I simply signed up for Patreon because I want to give all possibilities out there. But here's the thing. If you guys hate Patreon, there is another option, and it is called PayPal. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is I have my very first ever PayPal supporter. I have a PayPal supporter, and that is Saar in. And this just happened very recently. This is my very first ever PayPal supporter. Now, you might be wondering, Anthony, how can I support you via PayPal? Because Patreon is literally the devil. And I don't want to support you on Patreon, but you know what? I can support you on PayPal. Well, you know what? Here is an option. There is an option. Let's go over to our webby browser. Let's go over to the webby browser, and this is vrgamerankings.com. And one thing I wanted to mention very quickly on vrgamerankings.com, I have updated the top 40 most wanted Oculus Rift games. This has been completely updated. It might not look very different from what you've seen before, but it has been updated. But what you can do is if you go to vrgamerankings.com, you just scroll down here to the bottom, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see this right here where it says help support us. And then if you click on this, you're going to get a really goofy picture. Yeah, you're going to get this super goofy picture right here, and it says help support the VR Game Rankings website. Of course, you can also help support VR365 YouTube channel, all of that. There's a little PayPal donate button, and you can go ahead and click on that there, and that is how you can support VR365 and VR Game Rankings without dealing with the devil, which apparently Patreon is the devil. Okay, now, but real quick though, I did want to say that I've updated the most wanted Oculus Rift top 40. I've also done it for the HTC Vive, and we've mixed some things around. So, you know, here's the Oculus top 40 most wanted. Apologies for the noise that's right outside the door there. That is Job. He is banging away. He is working hard. But one of the things you might notice, Dirt Rally 2.0, yeah, it's coming to Oculus this summer, summer 2019. So it has ranked on the charts. That is good news. Job is right outside the door now. Apologies for that. You can see that Final Assault is up there at 25. We've got Elysium, which is hitting the charts. Elysium VR is at 26. Area of Darkness Sentinel is at 27. Thief Simulator at 28. You got Bow to Blood, Last Captain Standing, Soulscape, Groundhog Day VR. Do not sleep on JetX. Do not sleep on JetX. JetX is in the building as well. We've got Falcon Age, Undead Citadel, Failspace, Until You Fall by Shell Games, which was just announced yesterday. We've already got a game profile page for Until You Fall coming in the third quarter of 2019. Unfortunately, there's no trailer yet, so you got to look at my ugly mug. Yeah, not exciting. We also don't have legitimate screenshots yet for Until You Fall. And the third quarter release, that is a guesstimate. We do guesstimates if we don't have, like if somebody just says 2019, that's not good enough. So we're going to guesstimate. Now, we have Land of Amara that's up in there. Dimension Hunter 2. Dimension Hunter 2 has been announced. It's out there, you know, at some point in time. Spectro by Borrowed Light Studios has jumped into the top 40. Shaman Spirit Hunter is up there at 40. Now, you might notice that there's a lot of games that have disappeared off of this top 40. Well, guess what, guys? I'm working on a top 80. Yes, I'm working on a top 80. And that is going to be coming very soon. We've actually got a lot of little VR games that are out there, and I want to highlight them. So we're going to have a top 80 that's coming soon. But if you go over here to the top 40 most wanted HTC Vive, because it doesn't have any of the Oculus exclusives in there, it actually shows a few extra games. Like if we scroll down here to the bottom, you'll see Undead Citadel, Fail Space, Until You Fall by Shell Games, Land of Amara by Paw Stamp Studios, Dimension Hunter 2, Spectro, Planetrism, Espire 1, VR Operative, Into the Radius by CM Games is up in the building. Eye of the Temple is there. AD 2047, Stay Silent. So these games are in the top 40, but we are working on a top 80, and it is coming very, very soon. So I am actually excited. That's my dog. I am excited about the fact that we're going to have a top 80 because it's the first time ever. Like a lot of times we actually would have to scramble and scrape the bottom of the barrel to try to come up with a top 40. And now we're going to be able to have a top 80. You know, I don't know how long it's going to last. And I might actually have a top 100 that includes PlayStation VR games as well and kind of an overall mixture. So we do have some stuff going on over there at vrgamerankings.com in terms of our most wanted charts. Okay, now let's go ahead and get back into the news because I haven't even hit the news yet. And we've got a limited show here. Now, the first story I want to get to, well, let's actually go back over here to our standard scene. Again, thank you to Saar, the very first PayPal supporter I have. We've had that PayPal donation button that has been available now for a couple of weeks, and I didn't know if it was working or not. I thought maybe it's not working because we didn't get any donation whatsoever, but Saar is the first guy. He has stepped up. Okay, so now in the news, guys, in the news. Dreams for PlayStation VR. It is an exciting game. We are thinking about it a lot because we do believe that Dreams, when it hits the PS4 and when it hits PlayStation VR, there's a lot of possibilities with this game, especially with it being in VR, with people being able to create their own content. There's a lot of excitement here. There is some Dreams based news today. Okay, number one, it is coming this spring. That's what we've heard. We've already kind of heard this already, so it's not really news that it's coming this spring, but I guess it's exciting that they're saying that it's actually coming this spring. So they're finally starting to lock in on an arrival time. The other big news is apparently the early access program is coming to Sony's platform because Dreams is going to be considered an early access build, and it's going to have a limited release, and the price is going to be $30, $29.99. So yeah, early access apparently is coming to PlayStation 4, and this is a story that is over there on Upload VR. Let's go ahead and check that out. So I'm going to bounce over here to Upload VR, and it says Dreams early access launch coming this spring. PlayStation VR support to be announced, to be determined. What is the deal here? And so yeah, basically it says Dreams will launch into early access this spring. That's right, early access. And it says this release will again be aimed at creators first and foremost. Ready assured that 100% of the tools the studio uses to make levels will be included, but some features will still be missing. Here's a comment from Reddy at Media Molecule. He's saying, Saban Reddy, he's saying, if you participated in the beta and if you felt like Dreams wasn't fully featured enough for you yet, or you wanted more Media Molecule game, Molecule. Can I say Media Molecule? I can't say that. But if you want more of that game content, then early access might not be for you. We're working on all those things during this period so that you have everything you need on your first day in the Dreamiverse. Okay, the Dreamiverse. So yeah, early access is now hitting PlayStation 4. The early access build will see a limited release, which means that they might only sell a certain amount of digital copies, which that's kind of weird. And the price is going to be $29.99. So anyway, it's exciting that, you know, this is going to get started. This is going to get ramping up and running. This could be a really cool treat for a lot of VR players, just because, I mean, we got to worry about motion sickness because all these amateur hour guys, everybody in mom's basement and mom's garage that's going to be working on little weird VR projects, they don't got, you know, Q&A. They don't have like testers that are going to be testing this stuff. Their mom and their grandpa and that dude down the street that's always drunk, he's going to be their testers. So we got to wonder about motion sickness and all of that with some of this dream stuff. But I am excited about it. I think it's kind of cool. Okay, now what else is in the news? Well, yesterday we did find out about Project Porg. Project Porg for Magic Leap. It is available now. This is kind of a Tamagotchi kind of a deal. It's Star Wars. Dude, Star Wars. Magic Leap, brah. Star Wars and Magic Leap. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. Kinda, right? Isn't it? At least we thought it was a long time ago. Where's C-3PO standing in our bedrooms talking to us, and R2-D2? Where are the TIE fighters and the X-Wings that are flying all around our house and, you know, blasting lasers and stuff? We don't get that. Instead, we get Project Porg. But you know what? I got the trailer for Project Porg. Why don't we go ahead and check out what a Porgy can do for you? So let's go ahead and check out some Project Porg, and we'll be back right after these messages.
ILMxLab is Lucasfilm's immersive entertainment division, and we're trying to create a whole new era of living stories.
We tell stories across virtual reality, mixed reality, and all the new forms of media.
The thing that's so exciting about mixed reality is that you are really part of the story.
It allows me to combine my imagination with additional elements that I can interact with.
We've gotten to do quite a few experiments. We opened up a wall, and behind it was Hoth. It was this incredible cinematic moment, and we got to put you at the center of it.
But one of the things that we felt was most compelling was this idea of character companions. You actually develop a relationship with a character over time.
From a lot of the different things that we'd tried, they all sort of came together in Project Porg.
So the story of Project Porg is that Chewbacca has left a device along with a Porg, and C-3PO has sent a message that explains how you can take care of it.
Oh my God. One day you find out one aspect of their personality, and you go through their life cycle over the course of time.
Oh my goodness.
This is the greatest thing.
It's really very much like a relationship that one would have with their dog or cat.
Chewbacca suggests you try offering the Porg a treat.
As you nurture the Porg and it builds a family, there's an adorable baby Porg in your living room that you get to play with and feed.
You sweet little thing.
Just like you can't not love it. As soon as I saw that baby for the first time, like I just lit up.
We looked at how people interact with pets and a lot of the favorite toys that exist there. So we created a Chewy doll that you can play fetch with the Porg. There's a ball, there's a laser pointer that it'll chase after.
Oh my God, he's standing on you. He's standing on your computer. He wants to do work.
We got to collaborate really closely with the team that developed them for Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Which was amazing because having the same team that worked on the movie really come in and help us make these characters sing in your world.
Project Porg is an aspirational experiment, and it's important because we can spark people's imagination about what's going to be possible in the world of mixed reality in the future.
Mixed reality places you at the center, and an experience can start in the home, continue throughout the journey, and culminate in this transformative destination.
You can take that same character with you to public locations, possibly even a place like a theme park.
I think that's what makes mixed reality so interesting for the future. You know, it could change how kids play.
Adding mixed reality to the mix, the sky's the limit.
That is Project Porg. Okay, so Project Porg. So I guess these Porg guys are basically space penguins. They're pretty much space penguins. I mean, you know, I saw this, like I thought I saw most of that movie, but again, like I said, guys, I've just been disappointed with these Star Wars movies. They lose me. They start showing like some old character and they recreate him with like computer animation and they try to pretend like it's a real character. We're not there yet, man. And you totally lost me in the movie when I see them create, what is it, General Moff Tarkin or whatever. They recreated that dude. As soon as I saw that dude, and as soon as I saw that they are literally trying to run with that, they're literally trying to run with that, and they're literally trying to pretend that this guy is a real person. And they're like, yeah, this is a real person. Like, yeah, who is it fooling? It might fool my dog, but it doesn't fool me. I'm sorry, these digital characters, they're not there yet. We might be about 20 years away from that, and that's why they lost me on these Star Wars movies, and that's why I don't really know what the hell a Porg is. But I got to imagine it's basically the equivalent of a space penguin. And so you get to raise this little penguin in your house. Now, this lady that's, you know, doing the demo, she's holding the, what is it called? It's the light gear, the light pack, whatever. She's holding the light pack in her hand. I guess she doesn't have a belt. I guess she's not wearing pants, but somebody give her that shoulder strap, because why would you want to wear that thing the whole time? Now, in terms of like the actual experience that we're doing here, it's basically Tamagotchi. I gotta say the little baby is kind of cute, and I see how this could be fun for a handful of, you know, a few minutes here and a few minutes there. What I was more excited about, though, and one of the things I truly would love to see with Magic Leap, now that person is sitting there on the sofa, they don't have a Magic Leap headset on, and they're petting an individual, they're petting a completely invisible thing that they're not seeing, and they're pretending like they see it. Like, that's false advertising right about now. But basically, the one cool thing that I really would want to see a Magic Leap for is the idea, you know, where you're looking at a wall and it basically just opens up a portal into your wall. And it's like these doors are opening up and you see outside of your wall and you see into Hoth or whatever it is, kind of like what they're doing with Dr. Gordbort's. And I honestly feel like that is probably the most compelling AR stuff that we have right now. Because if you go back to that Wired article, the Wired article is talking about the Mirrorverse. And it's talking about like, welcome to the Mirrorverse, that this Mirrorverse thing is going to happen. It talked about, what's his name from Mythbusters, you know, Jamie Heineman or whatever. That guy was in his, or no, it's not him, it was the other guy. They're in their room. He was in his room and he could hear a whale, but he couldn't see a whale anywhere. And then he looked outside the windows and there was a whale swimming by. And they talked about this Mirrorverse, like opening up these portals, using your windows for a portal. Maybe eventually Magic Leap can realize that you have screens and you have TVs, and maybe it can use your screens as portals and your TVs as portals. And so there's this Mirrorverse and opening the portal in your wall. I think all of that could be really super cool, especially if you got a really big ass wall. Like I kind of wonder how far back can you go and still have some decent resolution and definition to the experience. Like, for example, let's say you were at like some kind of community center or some kind of school and they got this really big wall, this really big blank wall, and you could get like 30, 40 people, you know, 30, 40 feet back away from it. How huge could that portal be that opens up, and how good does it look? But the other problem is when you get past this honeymoon experience of having portals and things swimming past your windows and stuff like that. Once you get past that, you're left with this $3,000 AR device that doesn't do a hell of a lot. But I'm still interested. I'm still curious. I'm still interested. So that is Project Porg. Now, let's see here. In chat, Like, I know you guys are not exactly excited that I'm talking about AR when we've only got like 15 minutes left in this show. VR Gamer says, when does the roundtable thing start? It starts at noon. I will be ending this at 11:55 to give you guys 5 minutes to bounce over there, so don't worry about that. Okay, what else is going on in the news? Well, why don't we quickly cover, let's go ahead and let's bounce over to our Webby browser, and this is the Oculus deal of the day. I am sponsored by Oculus. They're paying me $1,000 a month to do, no, I'm getting no money from Oculus, nothing. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm addicted to doing it though. This is the daily deal of the day. It's called Kitten'd. You've been kittened, brah. Not honey potted, you've been kittened. And it's $7. It's 53% off. The normal price is $15. You got a little over 12 hours left. This is a little bit over 4 stars, but there's 4 ratings, and that, of course, is the dev's mom, grandpa, and that drunk guy down the street again. He's reviewing games on Oculus. Okay, when did this baby come out? This baby came out on July 10th of last year. The developer is StarVault. I don't know exactly what you're doing with kittens, but it says take care of cute kittens. Lots and lots of cute kittens. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. You could pay $7 and you could get kittened, and you can take care of all these little cute kittens that are running around. They're eating your muffins. They're knocking things over. You get to take care of them. Look at that. They're running up on the tables and stuff. They're getting their dirty paws all over the damn place. You can pay $7 and the price of an Oculus Rift, or you can pay $3,000 and you get Project Porg for free. You guys make the call. That is Kitten'd. It is the Oculus Daily Deal. Now, in other Oculi news, we got some other Oculi news, and that is this thing right here. This is free. Now, I know that this was on PlayStation VR for quite some time. It is now available on the Oculus Rift. It is called We Happy Few. It is Uncle Jack Live VR. And yes, this has been available on PlayStation VR for a minute here, and now it has finally come to Oculus, and it is 100% free. It is a free experience. You might want to go ahead and check that out. Speaking of free, we're not quite done yet. We've got another free experience, and this is on the Oculus Rift. Do you guys remember that one day I was talking about pickup league hockey, and I was saying that it was free on the Oculus Go, and I thought it was a mistake. I thought it was an accident, and I was telling everybody, jump over, grab your Oculus Go, fire it up, get signed in, and download Pickup League Hockey because it's free. And I thought it was an accident. Well, it's not an accident, guys. It's free on the Oculus Rift as well. Yes, it has come to the Oculus Rift as well. It is absolutely free, and I think you can play people that are on an Oculus Go, so it kind of has that cross-play capability. I have no idea if this is any good. It might be a complete and utter disaster, but that is Pickup League Hockey. Now, what are we going to get into now, folks? Well, I got to tell you, you guys love AR. You love AR so much, and I don't really like AR, but god damn it, my audience loves AR. So I got to keep giving you guys these AR stories. And then there's 5G. But what if you combine 5G and AR? Minds will be blown, and that is what is going to happen next week at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. It is going to pop off. AT&T, Ericsson, and Intel are all getting together to show us the power of 5G with a Batman AR VR / experience. It is going to happen. Yeah, remember, next week, guys, we've only got a handful of days, folks. HoloLens 2.0 is probably going to be shown off next week, but we're going to get a really trippy kind of experience that is going to combine AT&T, Ericsson, and Intel. So this is over here on Road to VR. Yeah, this is on Road to VR. And one of the things they're saying here is that last year, the companies created a proof of concept demo that was running at USC in Los Angeles, where students got a chance to experience what they call a context-aware mixed reality experience that was designed by USC's Mobile and Environmental Media Lab. Now, this new experience is going to be combined with Batman, and it's basically is going to allow people at Mobile World Congress, showgoers are going to be allowed to see how Batman defeats the Scarecrow in an action-packed, immersive experience using a digital model of their encounter. Now, this is going to be some AR VR thing, and we don't know exactly how it's going to work, but it is said to include a fully integrated 5G network that is powered by Ericsson radio base stations and enabled by Intel Xeon scalable processors and the Intel 5G mobile trial platform, allowing Expo visitors to interact in the environment while being mobile. You know, we hear a lot about this 5G stuff. We hear that 5G is going to change the game for VR and AR and all of this sorts of things. And we don't know how much of it is complete and utter bullshit and how much of it might actually be some real legitimate stuff. But if you are able to go to Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, you might be able to get a first-hand look at this. You might be able to see, is there anything here? Is this all a bunch of bullshit? I don't know. It's a question. So here's the deal. If you do go to the Mobile World Congress, you can check out this demonstration at both Ericsson's booth and Intel's booth. And Mobile World Congress is taking place from February 24th through 28th in Barcelona, Spain. So you're going to be able to check this out. I'm still kind of, I don't know, I'm semi-curious about this whole 5G thing. You know, I'd like to think that 5G is going to be like a real deal. I just don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm slightly curious about it. Okay, so we're almost out of here because VR Roundtable is going to have their special episode very soon here. But right before I bounce out of here, I did want to mention that there is a brand new Steam page that has just hit. This is Tokyo Chronos. All right, I don't know a hell of a lot about this, but what I do know is that they do have a Steam page now, and they also have a demo. However, I was reading something on, I don't know if it was the Vive subreddit or if it was the Oculus Rift subreddit, and basically it was one of the developers of this thing was on there, and they were saying that you had to like fill out some kind of like Google Doc or something to be able to possibly download this demo, which seems kind of weird because there's a button here that just says download demo. You'd think you'd just be able to click on that button and make it work. But yeah, this Tokyo Chronos thing is coming to VR headsets. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know how it's going to work. It is kind of this crazy anime type stuff that I am not very familiar with, and I don't really know what's going on. Now, this, I could see how this kind of is in VR, if you could kind of move through there and see what that looks like. I want to at least exchange information about our current situation. So it's kind of mixing 2D and 3D, I guess. So, you know, the demo might be interesting if you can possibly get into the demo and actually see what's going on here. But yeah, that is Tokyo Chronos. All right, well, I basically got to get out of here. This is a very short episode, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and live with that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back over here to our standard scene. And let's go ahead and pop on the screen one more time. Just wanted to mention, folks, that there is this special episode. It's going to be starting probably in about 7 to 8 minutes or so. Kevin Henderson, the head of U.S. operations at Pimax, is going to be interviewed by Steve and Gary. They're going to be asking a number of various questions. Now, obviously, Steve is an owner of a Pimax headset. He did have a problem not too long ago with his Pimax headset. I believe it was cable related, and I'm pretty sure that Kevin Henderson actually sent his own friggin' cable. He sent his own cable to Steve and hooked him up in a major way, and I think it's working again. But they're going to be asking a lot of questions of this guy. And, you know, the number one question I would want them to ask, I'm not going to be there. I'm not participating with this. The truth is, I don't know that much about Pimax. I don't really follow Pimax that much. But the number one question that I would ask if I was in that interview is I would ask Kevin Henderson, I would say, do you guys realize the opportunity that you have right now? Because you have a window. You have a window of opportunity where everybody wants a really high-end headset. And there really isn't a high-end headset that's delivering it to everybody right now. They have a window of opportunity. The problem is the window is starting to close. It is starting to close because you have Vive Cosmos, you have the Hewlett-Packard Copper, and you have the Acer Oho 500. All three of these headsets are looming. They're like dark clouds that are floating over the landscape. They are looming, ladies and gentlemen, because all three of these headsets feature 2160 by 2160 resolution per eye. And these are going to be mass market headsets. And my number one question for Kevin Henderson, do they realize the opportunity that they have right now? And are they going to seize this opportunity? Because the window is closing, in my opinion. So I hopefully they can maybe seize that opportunity. I just don't know that they're going to have the supply and the infrastructure and all of that to do it. That would really be the only question that I would ask. So that's why I'm not going to be on the show. But Steve is probably going to go ahead and ask that question. So that's awesome. So that's going to go ahead and do it, guys. So go ahead and bounce over there to VR Roundtable. Check out the show. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to tune in myself as well. I want to see what's going on over there. I want to learn a little bit more about Pimax. They're probably going to ask a lot of really interesting questions, and I'm curious to see how all of that is going to work out. All right, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for this show. I know it was an abbreviated, shortened episode, but that's okay. I'm not going to cry. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I will be back tomorrow at around 11 a.m.-ish or so. So I will see everybody tomorrow. So yeah, bounce over there to the VR Roundtable episode. I'll see you guys over there in chat. Take it easy. Have a good one. Later.